Hi everyone, welcome to another class in A Year in Cards. This is for the month of April and we're going to be making some Mother's Day cards or just some cards celebrating the women in our lives. It could be a sister or an aunt, anyone like that. They're going to be more feminine cards. A couple will be mother specific and the other one will just be just a little bit more feminine than you might see, other times of the year. So I'm going to head right in. I'm going to be using some pattern papers for all three cards from my Mind's Eyes Lush collection. And these are really great because they're monochromatic and you can kind of pair them together. I'm actually going to be using all these colors together and it's going to look really, really great. Maybe I'm going to throw some purple in and we'll see how it goes. The first card I've actually done some prep work for. And I'm going to be using this stamp from Huer Arts. This is the I Heart My Mom stamp. It's available in the twopeasinabucket.com store. And I thought it'd be really fun to stamp that and then just color in the heart with a little pop of color just for some added dimension. And I have these strips of paper here. And when you use strips of paper and you kind of put them together in rows, it's a really easy way to mix and match your pattern paper, but in small amounts. So it's a great way to use scraps of pattern paper that you might have laying around your house. I'm going to go ahead and score this card. I'm using my Martha Stewart Crafts scoring board. This is also available in the two-piece store. I like that storage up there. I'm going to score it at 5.5. This is a portrait card. So the finished card size will be 4¼ wide by 5.5 inches tall. Okay, so I've got my card front. I'm going to go ahead and stamp my I Love My Mom just over here onto the side. I'm going to be using some Color Block Fluid Chalk ink. Perfect. So I'm just going to use a pink marker just to color in a little bit of color. And to make it look a little bit less stark than using just a regular marker, I'm going to use my blender pen. And if you've been following this class for a while, you've seen this technique before. But I'm taking an acrylic block and I'm just coloring on some color. You might not be able to see that on camera. It's a pretty light color. And then we'll be taking a blender pen. And this is just a blender pen from Stampin' Up. You can get them at other art supply stores, things like that. And I'm going to use some scratch paper as soon as I can find some. Here we go. I'm just going to make sure it's all clean. Then I can pick up the color and come in and color in my area, color in the heart. A little more pink on this one side. So it's shaded a little bit. And now I'll go ahead and do the stitching lines. Okay, so it's going to be like that. I'm going to do a little section that has a scallop edge and I'm going to be using this brown paper for it. And the Fiskars Scallop Sentiment Punch. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have the pink kind of be on top right there, and then I'll have the green above right there. So I'm going to go ahead and start adhering these to the card. I'm just using some Tombow Mono adhesive. This is the permanent one. The full system with the adhesive and the holder, it's actually a blue holder like this, are available in the two-piece store as well as the refills. And as far as the measurements go on these little strips, you don't have to use the measurements I have. Depending on what pattern paper you use, it might be better to have a different width. Okay. And I'm also going to use my We Are Memory Keepers Corner Chomper. Now if you want, you can leave your card like this, like I said, which is great for mailing. Or you can do what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to add a little bit of string, which doesn't bulk it up very much. In fact, it's one of the better ways to add a little bit of softness to your cards, but have it not be too bulky. Okay, so there's card 1. I'm going to head right into card 2. For the second card, I'm going to be using quite a few stamps. This is all about the stamps on this card. And I'm going to be starting out with the background stamp. This is the Hero Arts Cling Dot stamp. I know a lot of you picked this stamp up from the two-piece store after last month's class. And if you haven't, now is a great time to do so. I'm going to start out by using some Hero Hues Iris chalk ink. I'm just going to ink this up. Okay, and I'll take my card front, which I've already folded. Just place that right on the stamp. And use my brayer to get really even coverage. Okay, just added some dots. Okay, now I've got some cream cardstock here, and I'm going to be using this purple ink once again, but I'm going to be using a different stamp set. This stamp set is by Hero Arts. This is the Asian Elements stamp set, and I'm going to be using this element right here. And I'm going to do a little bit of a different stamping technique with it. And if you're an experienced stamper, you've probably done this. It's one of the better ways to utilize all of your inks and get the most money out of them. Okay, so I tested this out. It's called Stamping Off. So I stamped it at full strength, and then I didn't re-ink the stamp. I stamped it again, and then again. I tested it with my I Love My Mom stamp. So what we're going to do, I'm going to turn this over so we can use it as our scratch paper. And this is the one that's going to go on the card. All right, I'm going to ink this up. You want to make sure it's inked up really, really well. Okay, and I'm going to stamp once. I'm going to stamp again. And then on the third one, I'm going to come right over here. Oh, that wasn't good enough. Looks like maybe just twice is what we want. Or just once. Okay. Ink that up really well. Once. Come over here. Twice. I just really wanted a faint coloring, just a little bit of something in the background, just off to the side. All right, and then over top for the sentiment on the card, I'm going to use, this is Truly Appreciated. I'm going to use this You're So Special. And this is the reason why I wanted to do the purple kind of faded and pale, so that I could have the sentiment over top and not have them compete too much. Okay, one of the last things I'm going to do is take some of that My Mind's Eye Lush pattern paper, and I'm just going to put a little strip of it right up here at the top. And I'll be using some Tombow Mono multi-glue just along the edge. You can get this glue also from the two-piece store. I'm just going to cut it to the right length so I don't have extra glue. Okay. And I'll just trim off this little edge. Okay, and then that's going to go on the front of the card. This is also going to be a really easy to mail card. However, this one's going to be popped up off the card front a little bit. Just using some foam dimensional adhesive. Just one in each corner and then one in the middle ought to do it. Okay, so there's card 2. Okay, for the third card, it's going to be a smaller card that you can maybe attach to a gift package or something like that. I've got this craft envelope from Maya Road. This is their rectangle craft envelope. Comes in a pack of lots of envelopes. Looks like this. And I've slowly been making my way through this pack, making specialized cards, card sizes. The size that fits inside this envelope is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. So I've cut out my cardstock to be 7.5 inches wide and 2 3/4 inches tall, and then I just scored and folded in half. I've got the same green polka dot pattern paper. I'm just going to adhere that to the front of the card. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to do I've got some brown cardstock here. I'm just going to do a little bit of that scallop edge. Okay, I don't need very much. The other two cards have a brown scallop edge, so I thought it would be fun to add this little scallop edge right here as well. I don't want it to be any larger than this, so I'm actually going to take a little bit off the front of the card. I took off maybe 1/8 of an inch, not very much at all. And what I'm going to do is just take the scallop edge, I'm going to put some adhesive on the one side. Then I'm going to line it up at the bottom. And then just close the card, and then I can trim off the edges. Okay, so I've got that part. Excuse me, I've got that part. I'm going to add this little part in now. This is some of that same pattern paper from the other two cards, and it's just going to go right on the bottom of the card, just like that. Okay, got some chipboard, Ready Set Chip pink oak adhesive chipboard from Cosmo Cricut. I'm just going to put that on. I'm just going to have it say Mom. Okay, and then I've got this butterfly. This is from the Jenny Bowen embellished butterflies, and when you take it out of the package, it comes off the little dimensional thing. So I just stuck it to a backer sheet for my other dimensional adhesives so that I can keep it there. But I'm just going to put this little butterfly right up here. I have to make sure that it doesn't overlap the edges of the card because it still has to fit into that envelope. So I'm just going to put it right there. And there's the third card. Let me show you all three together. Let's see the purple one. The chalk ink fades a little bit, so it has more of a subtle texture with the polka dots now. And then I've got the I Love My Mom. So really fun set of Mother's Day cards. Hope you guys enjoyed, and please join us with this class. Make some cards of your own and upload them to the 2Ps gallery. And when you do, make sure you select this month's class as a challenge. It's in the section when you upload your card. And when you do that, you'll automatically be entered into a drawing to win a 2psinAbucket.com gift certificate. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys next month.